It's been 29 years since the death of hero Himmel, and now Frieren's party is in the northern countries in the Bandwoods. The party hitched a ride on a stagecoach, and Frieren thanked the merchant, mentioning that he is a lifesaver. The merchant replied, saying he would call something like this mutual aid instead. He added that he is a merchant in the village ahead, whose family has run an accessory shop for generations. He offered to show Frieren if they were interested in such things, to which Frieren replied that they've got quite the salesman here. She said that she's not interested, but she believes that Fern has an eye for accessories. While talking, Frieren noticed Fern's bracelet, so she asked if Fern had bought herself a new one. She added that the design of it was cute and that she has a ring with the same design. She explained that Himmel gave it to her in the past, and it's probably from the same set as Fern's. Frieren then tried to find the ring, which made her throw all of her stuff outside her baggage. Not long after, she saw the ring she was looking for, but suddenly their carriage began to float. Because of that, Frieren apologized for losing her vigilance. It was revealed that a bird-like monster is currently taking them away. She explained that those kinds of monsters are cunning and skilled at hiding their mana. When Frieren asked what they should do, Stark answered, "Why don't we defeat the monster for now, and then use flying magic to survive?" He thought Frieren and Fern could levitate a wagon. Frieren asked him, "Have you ever seen a flying wagon before?" To which Stark replied, "We are on one right now." Frieren then explained that it may come as a surprise, but humans have only learned to fly within the last 40 years. She added that up until that point, the skies were ruled by demons and monsters, and the flying magic that humans use is copied from magical techniques that demons use. Stark told Frieren to spare the details and explain it to him as if he were a 5-year-old child. So, Frieren briefly explained that levitation magic cannot be freely used since its principles are still a mystery, and you can only make something larger than a person fly for a very short period of time. Because they didn't have any choice but to escape, Frieren suggested that she would fly with the merchant, and she would count on Fern to take care of Sane, which Fern understood. Stark then asked, "Hey, what about me?" To which Frieren replied that he would fly down, prompting Stark to comment that he would die if he fell from that height, while wondering about what Frieren was talking about. Frieren then bluntly asked, "Isn't it true that a warrior won't die from a height like this?" That made Stark shout, "Why are you giving off a puzzled look?" and said that obviously he'd die. Frieren commented that it was strange because Eisen would always be unscathed, no matter how high he free fell from, and even Hyder was shocked by that. Fern then said, "In that case, why don't we levitate the wagon just before it crashes to the ground?" To which Frieren replied that they'd need to calculate whether they can break the free fall. Stark got scared because Frieren suddenly explained that they would have to kill the momentum, or else they would turn into well-grounded minced meat. Sane interrupted their conversation and said that they should hurry up because the monster that caught them is the type to hunt by dropping its prey, to which Frieren agreed. Frieren decided to go off the wagon and single-handedly kill the flying monster with one magic spell. Because of that, they started falling to the ground, which made Stark cry his heart out in fear. They plummeted to the ground, causing damage to their wagon. Luckily, they were okay, and Frieren even commented that it turned out nicely. In the next scene, Sane pointed out that he may have healed the horse of its injuries, but the wagon still needs repairs. Frieren apologized for her mishap, but the merchant brushed it off and said that if anything, you should be thankful to her instead. He would have died if he were traveling alone. Stark noticed that they might be repairing the wagon for a while. After that, they started repairing the wagon. We then see Frieren looking for something inside her baggage, and it looks like something is missing. Stark and the others discussed how the weather has been getting warmer lately, and that they will likely need a change of clothes. Sane then noticed Fern's bracelet, so she explained that it was a birthday present from Stark. Stark then commented that it took him 3 hours to pick it out, so Sane thought that he had picked it out in the end. Fern mentioned that she told Stark to choose freely, which Sane apparently understood. Then Sane moved away from Fern along with Stark, questioning that it must have been hell for Stark, as it was surely the most excruciating situation to be stuck in. Stark, exasperated, said that he had been staring at Fern's face for 3 hours while feeling dead inside. Fern thought in her mind that she hears everything they're saying. But Stark pointed out that even if he had a hard time, Frieren happily accepted his gift, so he's glad. Frieren stared at the bracelet Stark gave her and smiled. Sane then commented that at first, he thought that Stark was more of a loser, but in reality, he was quite the thing. After that, Sane explained that according to floriography, the design of Frieren's bracelet, a mirrored lotus flower, signifies eternal love. It's something you give to your beloved. Because of that, Frieren thought that Stark's intentions were connected to that, which Stark quickly argued that he didn't know. It's a misunderstanding. Did you think I would know anything about floriography? He said. Frieren then answered that it was a good point because Stark's an idiot after all. Stark commented that Frieren was a lot more bitter than usual. Stark even tried to say that Frieren also didn't know the meaning of the design, but when Frieren questioned him sharply about what he was saying, he quickly retracted his statement. When Stark asked Frieren if he should buy her something else because of that revelation, Frieren pointed out that the bracelet was something he had put all his heart into buying for her, so he shouldn't even say such a thing again. Stark then said sorry for what he had said. Sane looked at Frieren, so she asked him what the problem was, to which Sane said it was nothing. Next, we see a montage where the party and the merchant started fixing the wagon, hunting for food, eating it, and resting. We then see Frieren finding something while the others were finishing fixing the wagon. Frieren saw Frieren and told her that the wagon is now repaired, so she believed that they would be departing early tomorrow morning, which Frieren replied with, "Aha." Frieren then explained that she knew Frieren had been sneaking out every night, so she asked what she was looking for, to which Frieren answered that she was looking for the ring Himmel gave her. Frieren stared at her and eventually she offered to help and suggested delaying their departure until the ring was found. Frieren argued that it wasn't necessary, and if she couldn't find the ring that night, she would give up on it, as she was accustomed to losing things. She also mentioned that the ring wasn't the only thing she had received from Himmel. Frieren then asked if she was right that it was a ring with the same mirrored lotus design as her bracelet, and then she continued to explain to Frieren that according to floriography, it supposedly signifies eternal love. Frieren commented, "Is that right? I was not aware. It doesn't matter anyway. I doubt Himmel was aware of such floriography either." To which Frieren argued that even so, she was sure it was important to Frieren. Frieren then looked at Frieren as if the words of Frieren touched something inside her. Frieren decided to call everyone to help find Frieren's ring. After explaining the situation to the merchant said that they could have spoken up sooner, because even in his village, since long ago, they have had a good number of people who have lost accessories. After explaining that, the merchant gave a spell scroll to Frieren, a magic that seeks out lost accessories. It was one of the spells the merchant had planned to confer to her as a reward for this occasion. Frieren flew into the air and used the magic, and she found a shining object in the forest. We then go back to the time when Himmel and Frieren first bought the ring with the mirrored lotus design. In a town, at one of the accessory stalls, Himmel told Frieren that because she worked hard in the subjugation quest, she could pick out something she liked. Even though Frieren said she would be happier if they just went to a magic shop, she still accepted Himmel's offer and quickly pointed out a ring, to which Himmel commented, "That was quick." Himmel looked at the ring Frieren picked, so Frieren asked if there was something wrong. Himmel smiled and said that it was nothing, but it seemed that he really does know the meaning of the design of the ring. After leaving the stall, Himmel gave Frieren the ring, but instead of just giving it, he knelt down as if getting ready to propose and slid the ring onto Frieren's finger. We then go back to the present where Frieren finally found the lost ring that Himmel gave her. Frieren asked Frieren if she was glad that she did not give up on it, to which Frieren commented, "Perhaps." Then, all of a sudden, Frieren asked Frieren why she had a mirrored lotus bracelet instead, to which Frieren answered that it was because Stark is an idiot. Because of that, Stark commented that Frieren was so mean. How sweet and heartwarming this story is. Sentimental value was really put into place. Giving gifts and cherishing those gifts. I really like the ending part where we see Himmel seems to have really understood the meaning of the mirrored lotus design. Even if Frieren almost gave up at first when she lost it, it was really shown after they found the ring again. It has great value for Frieren. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.